I never expected my sophomore year at UCLA to turn my world upside down, but it did the moment Professor Elias Thorne asked me to stay after class. His voice, usually so commanding in lectures on American literature, softened as the other students filed out, leaving us alone in the echoing auditorium. "Alex, there's something I need to discuss with you. Something personal," he said, his eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that made my heart race. That afternoon, under the warm California sun filtering through the windows, Professor Thorne, Eli, as he insisted I call him in private, confessed he had been watching me, not just as a student, but as someone who stirred feelings he had long suppressed. At 42, with a tenure-track position and a reputation for brilliance, he was everything I admired. Tall, with salt and pepper hair, sharp features, and a mind that dissected novels like they were living beings. I was 20, a literature major from a conservative family in Texas, still figuring out my own identity in the liberal bubble of Los Angeles. His words hit me like a plot twist in one of the books we studied. Unexpected, thrilling, and terrifying. We started with coffee in his office, talking about Hemingway and Fitzgerald, but soon the conversations veered into the personal. Eli shared how he had married young to fit the mold his Midwestern parents expected, only to divorce after realizing he couldn't deny his attraction to men. "Society doesn't make it easy," he said, his voice laced with regret, "especially in academia, where every move is scrutinized." I opened up about my own struggles. The bullying in high school for being too sensitive. The fear of coming out to my parents who still quoted Bible verses in their emails. There was a spark, undeniable, but we both knew the risks. He was my professor. I was his student. The university had strict policies against such relationships, and the age gap alone could fuel gossip. As weeks passed, our meetings became more frequent. I'd linger after class, pretending to ask about assignments, but really craving the way he listened, truly listened, like I was the only person in his world. One evening, as we walked across campus under the twilight sky, he brushed my hand accidentally, or was it? And I felt a jolt. "This is dangerous, Alex," he whispered. "But I can't stop thinking about you." I didn't pull away. Instead, I suggested we grab dinner off campus, away from prying eyes. That night, at a quiet Italian place in Westwood, we laughed over pasta and wine, sharing stories of lost loves and unfulfilled dreams. Felt natural, like we were two souls connecting beyond labels. But reality crept in. My roommate, Jake, noticed my late nights and teased me about having a secret girlfriend. I laughed it off, but inside, guilt gnawed at me. Was I betraying my education by blurring lines with a mentor? Eli felt it too. "We have to be careful," he said one day in his office, closing the door softly. "If anyone finds out, it could ruin us both." Yet the pull was stronger. We started meeting at his apartment in Santa Monica, a cozy place filled with bookshelves and ocean views. There, away from campus, we explored our feelings through words and glances, never crossing into anything physical that could complicate things further. It was emotional intimacy at its core, vulnerable, raw, and addictive. Conflicts arose subtly at first. During a lecture on forbidden love in classic literature, Eli's eyes met mine, and I saw the irony reflected back. A classmate, Sarah, whispered, "He's so intense today. Wonder what's up with him." I forced a smile, but paranoia set in. What if someone suspected? My grades were solid, but I worried about favoritism accusations. Eli assured me he graded blindly, but doubt lingered. Then came the social hurdles. At a campus LGBTQ event, I spotted Eli from afar, chatting with colleagues. I wanted to approach, but he subtly shook his head, a silent warning. Later, he explained, "I'm not out at work, not fully. The department is progressive, but tenure review is cutthroat." His fear mirrored mine. My parents would disown me if they knew. One night, as we sat on his balcony watching the waves, Eli opened up about his past. "I lost a friend to suicide because he couldn't reconcile his faith with his sexuality," he said, tears glistening. "I won't let that happen to you." His protectiveness touched me, but it also highlighted our differences. He was established, with a life built on caution. I was young, impulsive, yearning for authenticity. What if we just be together? I asked. He sighed. Society isn't kind to stories like ours. Age, power dynamics, people will judge. But in that moment, I didn't care. We shared a tentative embrace, the first real contact, and it felt like home. As the semester progressed, whispers started. A TA mentioned seeing us at the restaurant. Eli dismissed it, but tension built. My best friend, Mia, confronted me. "You're glowing, Alex. Spill." I confided partially, and she warned, "Professors and students? That's a recipe for disaster." Her words echoed the societal norms we were defying. Yet, the connection deepened. Eli introduced me to queer literature I hadn't explored, like James Baldwin, and we debated themes of identity and repression. It was intellectual foreplay, fueling our emotional bond. By midterms, I was hooked. But then, a curveball. My parents planned a surprise visit. Panic set in. How could I hide this part of me? Eli offered support, but his own secrecy added layers. "We navigate this together," he said. Little did we know, bigger storms were brewing. The visit from my parents was a wake-up call, thrusting our hidden world into sharp relief against the backdrop of familial expectations. They arrived unannounced, beaming with pride at my success in California, oblivious to the internal turmoil I faced. Over dinner at a chain restaurant near campus, my dad grilled me about classes, and when Professor Thorne's name came up, I froze. "He's brilliant," I managed, but my mom's eagle eyes narrowed. "You seem distracted, honey. Everything okay?" I nodded, but inside, I was screaming. That night, I snuck out to Eli's, collapsing into his arms. "They'd never understand," I whispered. He held me, his steady presence a balm, but even he admitted, "Families like yours are why I stayed closeted for so long." Our relationship evolved amidst these pressures, becoming a delicate dance of stolen moments and coded messages. We text using book references. "Rereading Gatsby tonight?" meant meet at the beach. It was romantic, but exhausting. Eli pushed me to excel academically, reviewing my papers with brutal honesty, ensuring no one could cry foul. "Your talent stands on its own," he'd say, but I sensed his overcompensation. One afternoon, in his office, we argued for the first time. "Why can't we go public after the semester?" I demanded. He rubbed his temples. "Alex, I'm up for tenure. Scandals like this could tank my career. And you're just starting out." The power imbalance stung. He held the cards, and I felt like a pawn. Social conflicts amplified. At a Pride March in West Hollywood, I marched with friends, feeling liberated, but Eli watched from the sidelines, anonymous in the crowd. Later, he confessed his envy. "I wish I had your courage at your age." But his reluctance frustrated me. Courage? Or naivety? I shot back. We made up, of course, with deep conversations that peeled back layers of hurt. Eli shared stories of discrimination in his early career. A job offer rescinded after rumors of his divorce. "Academia preaches tolerance, but it's a facade," he said bitterly. I countered with optimism from my generation's perspective, citing progress like marriage equality. Our debates were passionate, highlighting generational divides that both united and divided us. Then came the first major crisis. A fellow student, Mark, who had a crush on me, overheard a phone call where I mentioned Eli's name affectionately. Jealousy fueled his suspicions, and he started spreading rumors on campus forums anonymously. Certain profs getting too cozy with students? Panic ensued. Eli called an emergency meeting at a neutral coffee shop. "We need to cool it," he urged, his face pale. But I refused. Hiding makes it seem wrong. It's not. Tears welled as we parted, uncertainty hanging heavy. That week, I threw myself into activism, joining the university's LGBTQ alliance, channeling frustration into advocacy. Eli supported from afar, donating anonymously, but his distance hurt. Reconciliation came unexpectedly. During a storm, I showed up at his door soaked, and he pulled me inside without a word. We talked all night, about fears, dreams, and the societal chains binding us. "Love shouldn't be this hard," I said. He agreed, and for the first time we acknowledged it as love. But external forces loomed. My grades slipped slightly from the stress, and Eli noticed, offering extra help sessions that raised eyebrows. A colleague pulled him aside. "Be careful, Elias. Rumors are flying." He downplayed it, but the seed of doubt grew. As finals approached, another layer unfolded. Eli's ex-wife, now a friend, visited from Chicago. Over drinks, which I joined covertly, she reminisced about their marriage. "I always knew," she said kindly, "but society pushed us into that box." Her acceptance contrasted with potential backlash, inspiring me. Yet, it also underscored the age gap. She was closer to Eli's age, making me feel like an interloper. Insecurity flared. Was I just a midlife crisis? Eli reassured me, "You're my equal, Alex. Age is just a number." But society disagreed, with articles online decrying teacher-student romances as predatory. We dissected them, turning pain into intellectual fuel. The turning point came at a department party. I attended as a student volunteer, and our eyes met across the room. A tipsy professor joked about forbidden fruits, and Eli's composure cracked slightly. Later, in his car, he vented, "This is unsustainable." I proposed a break, but neither wanted it. Instead, we committed deeper, planning a weekend getaway to Big Sur, away from it all. The drive was magical, coastal views mirroring our turbulent emotions. There, we bared souls discussing future possibilities. After graduation, maybe, Eli mused. Hope flickered, but reality intruded via a call from my dad. "We're coming for finals. Proud of you, son." Dread mixed with determination. Back on campus, tensions escalated. Mark confronted me directly. "I know about you and Thorne. It's unethical." I denied it, but his threat lingered. "I'll report it if I have to." Fear gripped us. Eli considered resigning, but I begged him not to. "We fight this," I said. Our bond strengthened through adversity, but cracks showed. Societal judgment weighed heavy, forcing choices neither anticipated. The confrontation with Mark ignited a firestorm, transforming our private world into a public battleground fraught with ethical dilemmas and societal scrutiny. I met him in the quad, heart pounding, as he laid out his evidence. Overheard conversations, late-night sightings. "This isn't right, Alex. He's abusing his position." His words echoed the very fears Eli and I had whispered about in the dark. I defended us. "It's consensual. We're adults." But Mark's response chilled me. "Adults? You're barely out of teens, and he's your grader. Power dynamics matter." He walked away, leaving me reeling. That night, I confessed to Eli, and his face drained of color. "We have to end this," he said, but his voice broke. We didn't. Instead, we strategized, deciding to lay low until after finals. The pressure mounted as exams loomed. I studied furiously, but distractions abounded. My parents arrived, full of enthusiasm, touring campus and meeting professors, including Eli. The handshake was polite, but I saw the flicker in his eyes. Over family dinner, my mom probed, "Any special someone?" I evaded, but guilt surged. Later, alone with Eli, we laughed nervously about the close call. "It's like a bad rom-com," he said, but beneath the humor lay real pain, the deception eating at us. Societal norms dictated we were wrong. Teacher-student, age difference, same-sex. Online forums buzzed with similar stories, often ending in ruin. We vowed to defy them. A breakthrough came via the LGBTQ Alliance. I organized a panel on queer relationships in academia, anonymously inviting Eli as a speaker. He accepted, sharing veiled anecdotes that mirrored our story. "Love defies boxes," he declared to applause. Afterward, in private, he admitted, "That was for us." Inspiration struck, but so did backlash. A conservative student group protested, calling it promotion of deviance. Flyers appeared, "Protect our values." It hit home, my Texas roots clashing with my LA life. Eli comforted me. Progress comes with pushback. But the controversy drew attention, and rumors intensified. Then, disaster struck. Mark filed an anonymous complaint to the ethics board, alleging favoritism. Eli was summoned for questioning. He called me in a panic. "They have nothing concrete, but it's damaging." I felt responsible, my youth and impulsiveness the catalyst. We met secretly in a park, where he revealed more. "If this blows up, my career is over. Yours too." Stigma follows. Tears flowed as we hugged, the weight of societal judgment crushing. "Is it worth it?" I asked. His answer, "You are." But doubt crept in. Friends like Mia urged caution. "Think long-term, Alex. This could derail everything." Amid the chaos, emotional depth surfaced. Eli opened up about his childhood. Strict parents who disowned a gay uncle. "I internalized that shame," he confessed. "I shared my own, coming out to a high school friend who ghosted me. These vulnerabilities bonded us, turning conflict into growth. We attended therapy separately, recommended by the Alliance, learning to navigate power imbalances. Communication is key, my counselor said. We implemented it, setting boundaries. No academic discussions in personal time. It helped, but external storms raged. The ethics investigation dragged on, with interviews and scrutiny. Eli's colleagues divided, some supportive, others judgmental. One said outright, "Elias, this is reckless." He defended his integrity, but the toll showed. Sleepless nights, weight loss. I mirrored him, my focus waning. A pivotal moment came during a heated argument. "You're holding back because of age," I accused. He countered. "And you're rushing because you're young." We stormed off, but reconciled with apologies, realizing differences enriched us. Societal debates fueled ours. Was our love predatory or pure? Media stories of similar couples swayed opinions, some celebratory, others condemnatory. As the semester ended, resolution neared. The board cleared Eli, citing lack of evidence, but issued a warning. Relief washed over us, but scars remained. We celebrated quietly at his apartment, toasting to survival. "We've weathered the storm," he said, but bigger challenges loomed. My parents discovering a vague boyfriend hint in a call. Their reaction: confusion, then concern. "Is he older?" Mom asked. I hedged, but the seed was planted. Eli encouraged honesty. "Rip the Band-Aid." I did, partially, coming out without details. Shock ensued, followed by tentative acceptance from Mom, silence from Dad. It was progress, but painful. Highs and lows intertwined. A weekend in San Francisco for Pride Weekend rejuvenated us. Surrounded by acceptance, we held hands publicly for the first time. "This is what freedom feels like," I said. Eli smiled. "One day everywhere." But returning to reality, conflicts resurfaced. Job offers for Eli elsewhere tempted him. A fresh start. I panicked. Separation? We debated relocation, weighing careers against love. Societal expectations clashed. Should I follow him, sacrificing my path? The drama peaked, forcing soul-searching. With the ethics cloud lifted, our relationship entered a new phase, one riddled with external validations and internal reckonings that tested the very foundation of our bond. Summer break offered respite, and we escaped to a cabin in the Sierra Nevada mountains, where pine-scented air cleared our minds. There, away from judgment, we dreamed aloud, co-authoring a paper on queer themes in literature, building a life post-graduation. Imagine us in New York, Eli mused, anonymous in the crowd. But practicality intruded. My junior year loomed, his tenure decision pending. "We can't ignore the optics," he said. I nodded, but resentment simmered. Why must love bow to society? Back in LA, familial rifts deepened. My dad's silence turned to confrontation via video call. "This lifestyle choice. It's not you, Alex." His words, steeped in religious conservatism, stung. "It's who I am," I retorted. Mom mediated, but the divide widened. Eli's family mirrored it. His sister, supportive yet cautious. "Be careful with the young one." Ageism from both sides fueled arguments. They see me as a kid, I vented. Eli reassured. Prove them wrong. We channeled energy into advocacy, co-hosting a workshop on intergenerational queer relationships. Attendees shared stories, some uplifting, others cautionary. One man recounted losing everything to scandal. Society loves a villain. It sobered us. Professional hurdles arose. Eli's tenure review intensified scrutiny. Colleagues whispered about his distractions. He worked overtime, distancing slightly to protect us. Loneliness crept in. I confided in Mia. It feels one-sided, she advised. Demand equality. I did, leading to a breakthrough conversation. I won't be your secret forever, I declared. Eli agreed. After tenure, we go public. Promise made, but doubt lingered. Meanwhile, Mark apologized, admitting jealousy. I was wrong. Forgiveness came hard, but it closed a chapter. Emotional peaks followed. On my birthday, Eli surprised me with a first-edition Baldwin book, inscribed, "To the man who opened my heart." Tears flowed. Vulnerability peaked. We discussed futures, marriage, kids, dreams clashing with reality. Society's evolving, but slowly, he noted. News of anti-LGBTQ bills in states like Texas reminded us of fragility. Activism surged. I led protests, Eli behind scenes. Unity strengthened, but exhaustion mounted. A health scare, Eli's stress-induced migraine, forced perspective. We need balance. We prioritized self-care, attending couples counseling disguised as mentoring sessions. Conflicts escalated with a public incident. At a literary conference, we attended separately, but a photo of us chatting surfaced online, captioned, "Mentor and mentee?" Trolls pounced. Grooming alert. The backlash was swift. Emails to the university, social media storms. Eli's tenure hung in balance. This is it, he said grimly. We lawyered up, preparing statements. My parents saw the buzz. Dad disowned via text. Mom pleaded understanding. Heartbreak compounded. Is love worth this pain? I questioned. Eli's resolve. Yes, if we fight. We did, rallying allies. The alliance petitioned in support, framing it as discrimination. Media picked up, turning us into reluctant symbols. The drama climaxed during the tenure hearing. Eli testified eloquently. Personal life shouldn't dictate professional merit. Supporters outnumbered detractors, but tension was palpable. Waiting for the verdict, we hunkered down, emotions raw. No regrets, I said. He echoed it. Approval came narrowly with caveats. Jubilation mixed with wariness. Post-tenure, Eli came out publicly in an op-ed. Love knows no bounds. Response polarized. Praise from progressives, vitriol from conservatives. My family fractured further. Dad cut contact. Mom visited secretly, warming slowly. He's good for you, she admitted after meeting Eli. Healing began. We moved in together off campus, a bold step. Daily life normalized, cooking, debating books, navigating mundanities. But societal echoes lingered. Stares at dinners, whispers at events. We ignored, focusing inward. Generational gaps surfaced in habits. Eli's vinyl records versus my playlists, but enriched us. A trip to Texas tested resolve. I confronted Dad, who softened slightly. I don't understand, but I love you. Partial victory. As senior year approached, choices loomed. Job offers for me in publishing, Eli's stability. Stay or go? We pondered. Love prevailed, but not without sacrifice. Eli turned down a prestigious fellowship. You're my priority. Gratitude swelled, but guilt too. Our story, once hidden, inspired others. Students confided similar struggles. We mentored discreetly, advocating change. Yet, controversies persisted. An article labeled us problematic. We rebutted, love challenges norms. The journey, fraught with drama, forged unbreakable ties. Senior year dawned with a sense of fragile triumph. Our relationship now an open secret on campus, drawing both admiration and ire that amplified the societal debates swirling around us. Eli's op-ed had gone viral, positioning us as unwitting advocates in the broader LGBTQ discourse, but it also invited scrutiny that tested our resilience to its core. Students approached me in hallways. "You're brave," some said. Others sneered. Attention-seeking. Eli faced similar at faculty meetings, colleagues applauding his courage while others distanced themselves. "This is the price of authenticity," he reflected one evening as we walked along the beach, the Pacific's roar mirroring our inner turmoil. Domestic bliss contrasted the external chaos. Our apartment became a sanctuary, filled with shared books and inside jokes. We hosted small gatherings with trusted friends, fostering a micro-community of acceptance. Mia became our confidant, offering unfiltered advice. "Own your narrative." We did, co-writing an article on ethical queer relationships in education, sparking academic debates. Critics argued power imbalances inherently corrupt. Supporters cited consent and equality. Our story fueled panels and podcasts, turning personal pain into public dialogue. But fame's double edge cut deep, doxing attempts, hateful messages. Is visibility worth the hate? I wondered aloud. Eli's steady hand. It paves the way for others. Familial reconciliation progressed unevenly. Mom visited, bonding with Eli over literature. "You make him happy." Dad thawed via emails, curiosity overriding prejudice. "Tell me about this professor." Progress, hard won. Eli's family followed suit. His sister hosted us, toasting to love's victories. Yet, generational clashes persisted. Eli's caution versus my activism. A heated debate over a new anti-LGBTQ law. "Petitions aren't enough," I insisted. He countered, "Strategic patience wins wars." Compromise emerged. We lobbied together, blending approaches. Career crossroads loomed. Graduation approached, and I landed an internship in New York. "Come with me," I pleaded. Eli hesitated. "My roots are here." The dilemma epitomized our conflicts. Youth's mobility versus midlife stability. Society's lens amplified. "He's holding you back," friends whispered. We soul-searched, ultimately deciding on long distance temporarily. "Love endures distance," Eli affirmed. But anxiety gnawed. A surprise. Eli applied for sabbatical in NYC. For us. Joy surged, but sacrifices lingered. He'd pause research. Gratitude mixed with concern. "Don't resent me later." His reassurance. Never. The ultimate test came via a campus scandal echo. A similar couple faced expulsion. We advocated, drawing parallels. Media frenzy ensued. Thorne's protege speaks out. Interviews probed ethics. Was it predatory? I defended. Mutual respect defines us. Backlash intensified. Protests outside our building. Security concerns forced relocation temporarily. In hiding, emotions peaked. "This world isn't ready," Eli despaired. I countered, "We make it ready." Resilience born from adversity. Graduation day symbolized culmination. Eli watched from faculty seats as I crossed the stage, our eyes meeting in silent celebration. Post-ceremony, we embraced publicly, cameras flashing. Whispers abounded, but we stood tall. A family reunion followed. Dad attended awkwardly, shaking Eli's hand. "Take care of him." Tentative peace. As summer unfolded, we moved to New York, embarking on new chapters. Eli taught guest lectures. I dove into publishing. Daily life normalized, but echoes of drama persisted. Therapy sessions unpacking trauma. Reflecting on our journey, the highs of connection outweighed lows of conflict. Societal shifts, inspired partly by stories like ours, offered hope. More inclusive policies, greater acceptance. Yet, questions remained. We mentored young couples, sharing lessons, navigate with eyes open. Our bond, forged in fire, proved enduring. But controversies lingered, debates on age gaps, power dynamics. In quiet moments, we pondered. Had we changed the world, or just survived it? As we settled into city life, one truth crystallized. Love, in all its messy glory, defies easy judgments. But was our relationship ultimately a force for good, or did it perpetuate the very imbalances we fought against?